Hello. Happy Sunday. I'm starting a little earlier than usual. Because I can. Because I was going to be sitting here probably playing a video game anyway. So I thought I'd just start early. Um, Hope everybody had a nice weekend. Thanks if you were, I had a handful of people stop in yesterday. I streamed some Paralives content, so thank you if you came to hang out for that. I'm really enjoying that game. We're gonna finish, y'all, tonight. We're gonna finish the giant live-in equestrian center. What day did I even start that? Is it still in my Twitch VODs? I know I took some breaks, and I'm gonna look. It was earlier in the year, though, wasn't it? I am very excited to finally finish her up. I was gonna look and see when I started this one, because it's been a hot minute. Let's see. My best estimate, I think, is gonna be on my YouTube VODs. We started it on... Okay, there's not a date on here, but February 16th. And that might have been a couple days after we actually started it. Hello, Little Gamer Lane, how's it going? I was checking to see how long this build has taken. And we've been working on it since the middle of February. So we're finally gonna finish her up, which is very exciting. And then I started another build like last night, just in my house. I had my first basically no plans weekend in months. So I took full advantage of that. So Friday night I played a bunch of Paralives. Yesterday I played a bunch of Paralives, and then Lucas and Velveeta Fan Club came over last night, and we just hung out and we just were lazy on my couches, and it was the most exact weekend I needed after a lot of weekends in a row of doing a lot of stuff. Especially because I had some shows and pictures to finish during the week too. Considering it was a short week, it was still a really long week. But anyway, I'm really excited tonight. We'll finish this up, and then either go. I started this little. It started as a tiny home and then a little side cafe, and now it's a little too big, but I don't care. It'll still be cute and fun. So let's take one of the last tours of our gigantic house here before I put a lot. We'll even see how much I feel like landscaping it. Because honestly, the area around it isn't super landscaped, so it might not even need it. I just don't like how harsh these lines are, so I was maybe gonna put some rocks and plants and stuff. So anyway, remember when it was all naked and we hadn't done anything to it? So here's the outside of our house. Actually, I'll put it in live mode so you can see our functional little ponds. I think there's some fish in there, although it's hard to see with the camera. I did put them in there though. There they are. It's still hard to see, but they're in there. So we've got some little fish ponds with waterfalls in the front. We've got our my room. Here, we'll put the walls back up. My room. Here's Lane's room. Which, also thank y'all if you popped into Lil Gamer Lane's enormous archipelago stream yesterday. That was quite the... Oh, we just became good friends. Cute. If you popped into the archipelago stream, that was quite the gauntlet of almost 9 hours worth of streaming, so excellent job to everybody. Where's Claney going? Claney in her coconut bikini is walking around the house. It's a cozy gremlin who's coming to my house this week. Probably for the last time before she lives here. Um, Velveeta fan club, hello. Um, a cozy gremlin did share this weekend on. I've known for a little while, but I don't like to share other people's news for them. That's a big one. Um, but she did share yesterday that a cozy gremlin is moving to us and is gonna live with me for a couple weeks before she's able to get her own place. So we're all very excited. I think I said yesterday on stream, like, that's her exciting news, but it's also our exciting news because we're very excited. So here's our upstairs loft, like, movie area. Here's our communal kitchen, which is like probably the biggest kitchen I've ever made. I don't usually make a big kitchen because I personally have a galley kitchen in my apartment, so I don't really think about how big kitchens can be. Here is the communal living area. There's Moose, a little office spot over here. This is really funny. I've been playing Paralives so much this week that I keep trying to do things that you can do in Paralives and not in The Sims. With my mouse and keyboard. Here's our little entryway. Communal laundry room. Here's Velveeta fan club's room. And then Claney's room. I loved how each of the like sleeping spaces turned out because they were both like raised and different, but still very special to each room. And then, of course, here's Matthew. Oh, he's sleeping with his little head tucked. Cute. That's Claney's tarot dungeon and man jail with a sad clown in it. We had my bird out today. I have a cockatiel. We had him sitting out with us on the couch this morning, and here's a Craigslist bird. I got him 10 years ago off Craigslist. And he only knows one song, and he's never learned another song. And we're pretty sure it's the SpongeBob credits song. They're like do 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 do, because he goes do 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 do. So we think he's maybe doing like a bad job of the SpongeBob song. So we tried to play it for him today, and he just kind of yelled about it. So here's our stalls for everybody's horses and or sheep and goats. Oh good, I can tell knock knock jokes. That's great. Ooh, I didn't know these lit up. Cute. I've never used these before. I had no idea those were lights. I love that. Here's the like horse arena for jumping and barrel racing. Here's our bird rave. We were doing the math today, so when I got him, they estimated to me that he was between 7 and 10 years old. So I'm not even sure they were his first home. So he's very likely between 17 and 20 years old. He's an old man. So here's our little fire pit back here. We did add a pool. Oh, it's Moose. I was like, who's in the pool? It's Mimo. Couldn't be real life Mimo, who I had to take to swim lessons because he didn't know how. We put the hot tub. We got our little pergola over here. Did I give us a grill yet? We could be a bunch of grill dads. That's like if they make a girl dad shirt and they spell it wrong and then it's grill dad. Let's be grill dads. Could put it like here, so then it's like a little grill pergola. What's this? Oh, that's the one from Island Living, where you like cook in the ground. And I think you can only make like huge amounts of food in that. I need to change the light mode. The shadows are a little aggressive. There we go. So I don't know. I'm just gonna put some finishing touches on it for a little bit, and then I think I'll go do the other build I'm working on. I don't want it to be anticlimactic, but there's not that much left to do on this one. I'm just gonna look for some like accents to put on the house. I like those. I like these always like make it look a little something else. Just like a little something something. Oh, not centered. Time to die. Yeah, the camera is so much better in Paralives. You don't have to do this, like, it doesn't constantly bounce you around. I bonus streamed yesterday. If you weren't there, there is a VOD both on Twitch and I put it on YouTube as well. I tried to do like some comparing different parts of Paralives to The Sims, and I think in a lot of ways it's not necessarily fair to super compare them yet, because they're just different. Oh, do you hear my neighbor's dogs barking, as they're always doing all the time? But I will say, like, the build mode is pretty superior. With the exception of there's obviously not a ton of items yet in the game because it's brand new. It's in early access. They're still trying to figure it out. They'll get there. Okay. I gotta figure out what I want to do. Like, do I put flowers around? Can I copy this? Oh, it copies the whole thing. Interesting. This build will probably not end up on the gallery just because it's so obscure. But, so I care like a little less if things are slightly weird. Here, let's do this. We'll make it small. I wonder what the cost of this house is up to. I haven't checked in a while. And then we obviously want to put dirt down there. Do a square. Do the same thing over here. And then copy. Look at that. It's actually really nice. Trying to decide. Do I put like this raised section everywhere else too? But I'm not sure I want to do that because then they can't, there's not like a path to leave. This is, okay. This is why I prefer to use this, because it gives such a more like natural look to things. But then because it's technically terrain, if it rains, the mud is like super bad. But I wish they'd give us like a brush option for this kind of thing. Because now it's like, I'd like to make a path out to here, but it doesn't really make sense to do that. So, silly billies. That's another thing Paralives is doing really well. The terrain paint is like very 3D. Just like add. And then I'll leave like a section. So they could technically like leave through the yard and go out this way. So let's leave this open. Go here. Dogs is barking. I was complaining about that yesterday on stream. Just like talking about, I've said this a couple times. I really thought I was gonna move this year, and I've been kind of bummed that didn't happen. And that it's okay, but a main reason I wanted to move was my neighbors. But it's okay. I just like, I don't know if y'all, I'm sure most people have rented or are renting, and I work really hard to be a good tenant, and then I see my neighbors breaking like every single rule in our lease, and I'm like, why do I try so hard? Why do I try so hard to be a respectful tenant when clearly that's not in the forefront of anyone else's minds? I love these wildflowers. What else I got? These are pretty. Is that what I used over here? No, those are another kind. What if I just... Oh. Oh. I'm still typing in there. Okay. Do, do, do. So much of... We're gonna put down a layer of yellow ones first. So much of building in The Sims, of landscaping in The Sims, is just like layering shit forever. And I think that's why I don't necessarily love it, because I just haven't figured out like what to layer, and I just like, you know, I prefer to build on the inside parts. Lane suggested a stream where like I do the stuff I like to do, and then she does the parts I don't like, which would be landscaping. I think that could be fun. Yeah, so we'll put like a bunch of wildflowers leading up to it, and then leave that open. These don't really match, but they're pretty. Does these fit in a little better? We could do some like smaller ones. One of like, I saw a tip about how to make your landscaping look more realistic, and it's like the fact that nature isn't symmetrical, so you shouldn't try to make your landscaping too symmetrical. And as we all know, I want everything to be symmetrical, so that might also contribute to why I don't necessarily like love it. Just like little wildflower beds leading up. I don't know. Do I really want to do it all the way down? That sounds like a lot. Can I? God, I wish you could bulk copy. I'm gonna save while I'm thinking about it. I'm also gonna take a drink really quick. Please hold. Okay. We're back. We're so back. Okay. So I have a nice little like exit walkway here. So they'll walk over to the pergola or to the... They can walk through flowers too. So, I mean, I could leave one side open. And then it could be, that's like the gateway to get over here to the fire pit and to the back. We'll do... They're so talented. They can walk wherever they want. Get some dirt. As much as I bitch about terrain paint, it does make it look a little more polished to do it. I should actually put some around the pond too. Whoop, too much. Too much. And then I'm trying to decide if after we do, I started like a little tiny home cafe, which could be fun, or maybe we could go try something new in Paralives, or just do, I could show like a little bit of gameplay in there, because I actually haven't explored the town too much. Because I just like to build stuff. But one of the ways I am finding that I like Paralives better is the camera modes are just a lot easier to build with. Basically, it seems like a lot of Sims fans decided to make their own game, and they're like, what do we hate about The Sims? Hi, Momo. Are those puppies barking at you outside? I'm so sorry. He was on one this morning. He was very demanding of attention, which, like, Moose likes attention. He likes people. He likes getting loved on, but he doesn't usually, like, demand attention. You can come up. Moosey, there's room for you, buddy. Come on. Come on. Moosey. He did his pout where there was a blanket on the couch in his spot, so he's gonna sit on the ground and pout instead. Such a baby. Little dirt. Who's the lady isn't there anymore. Velveeta, it's so funny because like all my friends have a spot where they sit on the couch because I basically have all the same people over all the time. So everybody just has an unspoken spot on the couch. And Velveeta Fan Clubs happens to be where Moose very frequently sits on the couch. So when she's over here sitting in that spot, he just kind of like stares at her. Which is ridiculous because he also sits in other spots on the couch. He can sit anywhere. He's just a pain in the butt. He was fully zonked out upside down in my bathtub earlier today. Usually he's kind of on his side in there, and I went in and he was just fully upside down. Is that everything? Honestly, I'll probably just do the walkways and call it good, because I forgot I did add some trees. The pathways leading up to the house felt unfinished, and I want to fix those. Where are the gosh darn rocks? There they are. So we'll just kind of like alternate a bunch of rocks. This one. now, just pop in a bunch of flowers. Make sure they can still access the trash can. I wonder, did I put all these in here, or did some of them come from... I wonder if some of them were in there. Oh, I wonder if they're different color swatches. So let's just do... like, pop a bunch around the rocks. Moose, you can come on the couch, buddy. He is also a needy baby because we we took him to, so our usual walk route, there's a pretty sizable hill on both ends of the walk, and it's been really hot, and he's an old man who's a very fluffy big black dog, and so the heat is really not easy for him. So I was like, let's go, we'll walk down the street, or we'll take the car down to the street, the park down the street, and we'll like, because our full loop actually goes all the way to the park, but when it's hot we can't do it. He can really only do it when it's colder out. And so I was like, let's just get in the car, we'll go do a shorter walk, just to get him some outside time. And for the second year in a row, this has plagued my existence for 2 years in a row, which is really funny. There's the park that is by us hosts like live music events, and they do like festivals and stuff, little festivals. And for two years in a row now, I've made plans to go to this park with people, and both 2 years in a row I have completely forgotten that it's the Italian Fest weekend. I don't know how I keep forgetting. They put signs up everywhere. There's signs all over the place. I see them all the time. And then we were driving to the park, and I was like, saw more of the signs, and I was like, God damn it, we're gonna have to figure out a backup plan because this festival's happening again. Which happened to us last year. I was with, last year it was Lucas, me, Lane, what's his face 11, and Lord Haas. And we had to go to like 3 different parks before we finally just settled on like being in my apartment's courtyard. And last night I was like, oh my gosh, like, let's go to the park, we'll take Moose for it, we'll park at the park, because there's never anybody there. Especially late on Saturday night. And we pull up, and it's just, there's like 8,000 people there. And I totally forgot. This Italian festival is the bane of my existence. It will happen again next year. I will forget. It was really funny. But we just parked a little down the street, and then walked him around like the neighborhoods around the park. So he did get some good walkies in yesterday, and then again, Lucas and Velveeta fan club were over, so he got plenty of attention. This week he'll get even more attention because Cozy Gremlin's coming. And I think she's definitely shared on stream, like she does long acrylic nails. And Moose loves long acrylic nails because they're really good for scritching. So he's very demanding of her attention when she's here. And she hasn't had him for a couple months, so he's gonna be very excited. Might see if there's like a white wildflower too. Do you come in other colors? That one's gonna bother me because it's a little out in the walkway. There we go. It's still not as full as it could be, but that still looks a little nicer to have some flowers leading up to it. I don't know, it might be done. It just feels so weird to have it. Were you just in the pond? He was just in the pond. I didn't know they could do that. Where's he going? He's on the move. Is this me? Or is this Lane? That's Lane. There's me. I'm anti-soccer. That's not like me. I'm a sports fan now. Yeah, here's real life. Here's Moose and Claney. Claney in her coconut shell bikini. What's everybody up to? Velveeta Fan Club is in a flirty mood, cross-stitching in Lane's bed. Love that for you. Moose is still playing with Claney. Where's Lane? Lane? Oh, you're sleeping in my bed. You're sleeping in my bed. Okay. You're sleeping in my house. You do have your own. But I guess it makes sense that Velveeta Fan Club is in there, so, you know, you can't sleep in there. I am sitting on the couch, eating a sandwich, hating on sports. Oh. Sports are off. So I was just being a hater for no reason. That sounds like me. Wasn't there... I was gonna say, wasn't there a pillar there? Why are you staring at me? You can come on the couch, buddy. I was trying to remember if I fed him dinner, but I definitely did. He's just being a baby. Hold on, I have to adjust how I'm sitting a little bit. I also need to check my text real quick. Lucas and I have a couple Colorado trips that we have to buy flights for. And one is just for us. So I found flights for those today, but I want to wait till he confirms them before I actually spend money on them. And then the other one I still have to figure out is for our going to see Stardew Valley out at Red Rocks. So that's next. I gotta get through one set of flights and then I'll look at the other ones. And then I'm actually not traveling too much for the summer, which like could be good. I'm going to Iowa this weekend for a show. I'm going to work in a really cool venue that's like in a it's in this old barn. That's going to be really interesting. The bands that I'm going to be there with have told me like it's their favorite venue in the country, so I'm excited to get to go do it with them. And one of the bands is the band that is ending at the end of the year. So even though it's kind of a haul, I wanted to make sure I did it with them because I've always wanted to go and I can finally make it work. So it'll be good. But still a lot of stuff. And then, yeah, I'm probably going to be home for several months, which is why I've been talking about like that it could be a really good time to get another dog, especially because the Cozy Gremlin will be living with me for a little bit. There I go. Gonna dive in the pool. Sorry, was she expecting cheers from people? Okay. I guess like the outside of the house is pretty barren, but I don't really know I don't know what else to do. Let's see. It might just be good. Does anybody have any last minute requests before I call Goral House done? This has been a crazy one. This is like at least probably about 24 hours of building because well, no, I guess this is stream 12. So if I built the full 2 hours, it probably would have been about 24 hours total. But also I built the shell off stream. And I think I had a couple really long streams in there, so I don't know, this one might have been a full 24-hour stream, which is ridiculous. And we've been working on it since February. That's crazy. Oh, I know what we need to do. Little dirt. Gotta be a little dirt mans. But other than that, like, I think it's done. And then maybe I'll pop over and show y'all the thing I started working on yesterday. Like I said, I kind of played video games all day, which I have not done in so long. And it was really nice. It was really nice to just do nothing. And I have the Sunday scaries so bad about work this week. That's not going great, so I gotta figure something out. But tonight I was like, let's just play a little extra video games. Alright. I think she's done. What if we close it off with like a little celebratory Goral fire? And everybody comes and hangs out. This could have been real life last weekend, except it rained the nights we were trying to do a fire. Goral hang. And Pimo. An honorary Goral. Clayton's talking about sports cars. That's so like her. Always talking about sports cars. Who's calling Vavita Fan Club? Okay, so that's me. I'm sitting right here. We've never discussed your childhood before. What kind of things inspired you when you were a kid? Let's pick. I always pick the pet friend. Is it not actually gonna bring up the menu? There it is. Let's see. Butterflies. Let's see. Some of these are, in fact, sad. Let's see. Had an evil best imaginary friend. Horse kid. I was a horse kid. We're gonna make you a pet friend. Because that also makes you better friends with animals in the game. Do I get like a good final screenshot of it for the VOD? I could also just do, it could also be like down here. The fire's going out. Look at my back muscles. That's what I'm trying to do in real life. Alright, here's our little thumbnail for the end of the build. Claney wearing her sunglasses in the dark. Ugh. I love it. I'm sure I could do a little more around the base of the house, but I think we're gonna call it good. Cause it's been a lot, and I think we're good. So I don't know, we could always come back and visit it once in a while. It could be fun to still like pop in and check on everybody here and there. Like, I'm not going to move anybody out, so we can occasionally come check on Goral House. What am I doing? Uh-oh. What's she going for? We could also do a last tarot reading for everybody. What you doing down here, girl? Oh, talking to Matthew. Matthew is on important crow business right now. Who has the tarot cards? Oh, I think I gave everybody a set. Draw a nightly reading. Alright. Tell me when am I gonna die? The Wheel of Fortune reversed. Resistance has taken hold and you might feel the rotation turning against you. It's time to hunker down, seek comfort, and make peace with change, or else you never know what may strike. Okay, that's ominous. What's Claney's? Oh wait, I have to click on Claney. There we go. What's yours? Strength reversed. Life, like fruitcake, can be upsetting and your energies may be depleted. Avoid repressing these raw emotions, but be wary of unleashing any harbored lightning within. Alright, well, we're 0 for 2. Lane, why are you mad? Oh, because you got pee real bad. I'll fix it. There you go. Claney's sad. Yeah, because your tarot reading was bad. Alright. Lane's gotta pick one. Eh. What's yours? The Empress reverse. Distrust and distaste have muddled your garden. Is it better to water the flowers of others or rediscover your own bloom? What's the answer, Lane? Spying on a neighbor is desired. That's cool. Oh. Nighttime. Claney, we're gonna fix it. Why is she at the bottom of the pool? Oh, not that. Okay. Do... Uh-oh. That was a face. The Emperor reverse. Power has gone to your head and your mind be as rigid as a barnacled hull. You might be sailing towards a fate only Blacksail Ravenscar would fancy, but fear not. There's still time to shift the tides astern. Being mean is desired. Damn, we all got, like, ouchy ones. Oh no. Little negative signs. Dogs is barking outside. Alright, well, we all got our last tarot reading, so I think I'm gonna pop over and check on that other build I was working on. Thanks for sticking around for the long haul of this one. And like I said, like, I put so much time into it, I kind of, like, don't want to, like, never see it again, so maybe we'll pop in on the girls sometimes. Massive flipping failure. Oh, she did a bad dive into the pool. Very embarrassing. And she's very sad about it. Alright, let's see. Oh, big stretch, Moosey. Oh no! Oh no. Okay, well, on that note, let's go check out the other build, I think. But this one has been really fun, and we'll have to keep coming back to check on it. Let me swap over to my other build. Save. That's some very loud drinking, Moosey. I built this little, I was just, like, kind of on one yesterday, and built this little build. I think I put it in Chestnut Ridge. That's the other part, is I'm gonna have to find it. Oh, here it is. We good. Alright. Now I'll switch back to the game. So here's what I was working on yesterday. You'll notice the layout looks familiar because I kind of built this same layout in Paralives. It's the same from the outside. It's very different on the inside because it's a business over here and then a residence here. Hi, Moo. Can you make up your mind and not just stare at me, please? Yeah, you are just standing and staring at me. He's coming on the couch. You gonna come up? Oh, I think I've talked about this before, but if you out loud notice what Moose is doing, he'll just stop doing it. He doesn't like to be perceived. So if you comment on it or watch him, like, getting on the couch, he'll panic and just sit on the floor. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Okay, so here's what I was working on yesterday. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do here because that's really a prime spot for a window, but I did put the bathroom right there. So we're gonna have to figure that out. So if you go in here, we've got our little porch seating. Oh, I did want to find, I like putting like those like coffee shop signs out in front of the little coffee shops. Which one am I looking for though? I think businesses and hobbies had the one I'm looking for, but I could be wrong. Where is it? I'm doing my traditional yawning during stream. I started at like 7:30. I started a little early. We'll see if I go till 10 or if I call it at 9:30. Businesses and hobby. Oh, I swore they had like a little sandwich board with coffee on it. That must be in a different pack. There's the coffee counter. Oh, we're lost in the debug now. I always forget about this. I should have used that. I did that one flower shop, which I think is my most downloaded build on the gallery right now. My little, that camper I built is kind of doing numbies right now too, which is exciting. What if I type here? Let's do a sandwich board. No. No. I swear there was one like with coffee on it. Like a little coffin store. Actually, is there... Oh, I like the tarot one. I think I maybe used that in that little tarot cafe that I built. Do you have coffee on you? That's all just wine. Wine. Oh, that's really cute. Let's see what else comes on that one. Little fox. Chickens. These are very cute. I did take one of those naps today that like it's so I passed out for like 2 hours. I did not sleep last night. And so I took like a really long nap. But it was kind of one of those naps where like, you don't actually feel better after. So I am still very tired. But I wanted to finish Goral House. Just looking one more time. I know there's one with coffee on it. It's in here somewhere. It's fine. This one's really cute, so we'll just use this one. So I can show you, here's like the little outside patio. And then here's the little teeny tiny cafe. So we've got our bathroom in here. Just a simple bathroom. So my thought here for whoever lives over here is she's a pottery artist who like runs this coffee shop out of her, like the adjoining unit. And then she also sells all her ceramics over here. So if you use these shelves, they are functional. Those are retail shelves, so Sims can come in and buy those things. So whatever you put on their shelves, they also technically count as a refrigerator. So you can put any like baked goods up there too, and they don't spoil as quickly. Sorry, I'm so tired. So yeah, I was thinking she like also sells her ceramics here, and then this is a very simple little cafe. But I was just in the mood to do something like easy and quick last night. So I did build her little pottery studio over here. It's kind of like she converted a greenhouse into a pottery studio. Oh, I did mean to put... There's that shelf that I use. No clown door in this one. Phew. Hello, Shadkin. There's no clown door, but there is that horrible there's like the clown painting that's pretty terrible. So what if we did, this is like the drying rack for the ceramics. I'm hoping that doesn't get in the way of making that functional. You're gonna summon her. Yeah, I don't know what she was up to today. I haven't really heard from her much, and she's usually like all up in our chats. We'll make that a little smaller, little plant there. Or I could also bump this over and make this the normal size one. But yeah, I didn't need it to be super busy. I just wanted to kind of look like she maybe, like the house maybe came with the greenhouse that she converted to her pottery studio. So not super decked out. Does this one come in other colors? I think it does. Oh, that was probably the best one though. Yeah. But then what we could do, debug, and we could do businesses and hobbies. So we can even make it look like she's storing some finished projects in here while they dry. Actually, I wonder, can I get like an unfinished looking one? Because technically you let them dry a little and then they go in the kiln, and then they're pretty when you glaze them. So we could do, there might not be enough of these that'll fill the space, but these will just look like the pre-fired clay maybe. How many shelf spots are there? Not that many. So then we could use like, got that. They do have a candle in them no matter what, so it'll just look like she's using them before firing them, but that's okay. And then, can this go anywhere else? Oh, you could stack them? That's cute. I wish it could go up here. Probably could if I fake it. Where did it go? Oh, it doesn't want me to do what I'm trying to do. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. She's only got a couple things. Does anything fit up here? That's a tattoo gun, I think. Yeah. What if we put some, like maybe she made these herself? Oops. Put that one over there. And then that kind of balances out. We've still got the tall green here. Did I put any overhead lighting in there? I don't think that I did. We need a little bit of overhead lighting. Hang on, give me 1 second. I need to respond to Lucas. Let's see. Okay. Like I said, we're trying to buy flights. And it's, so we've always flown Southwest. Like always. And the thing I liked about Southwest was that you could just fly wherever, or you could sit wherever. And now they're like done what everybody else has done, which is it's all assigned seating. So we kind of have to coordinate a little bit. It's not just like we can just buy our flights at different times, because now we have to make sure we can sit near each other when that works out. Neither of us is a middle seat person, so generally God, the cameras. I feel like I didn't realize how bad the camera controls were until I started playing Paralives. I'm not doing anything right now. It's just drifting me all over the place. But yeah, so we have to coordinate a little bit more about buying flights now. All right, cool. That's our little pottery studio. And then the cafe itself is done. The little patio is probably done. I'll have some outside like landscaping to do, but the house itself is a little bit challenging because it's such a weird shape. So you'll see here, I should have put this bathroom somewhere else because now like I can't really put like the big window that I desire to put there. I mean, well, did I put stuff in the bathroom yet? Oops, just minimize the game. Come back. So let's put some stuff in the bathroom first, and then we'll see what we can do. Because technically, like, the Sims don't register if there's a big window in the bathroom, right? I could always put curtains in front of it. So we need bathroom. We're gonna do one of those built-in showers. What do more people have? Sleek bathroom or Lovestruck? Probably Lovestruck. Although I love the sleek bathroom kit. I use it for everything, as we know. I like that one. Did Lovestruck come with a toilet? I don't think that it did. Could always just use the same one I always use. What else we got? Is that the one that turns green? Yeah. Do any of them... I was looking to see if any come in like a full bronze color, but I don't think they do. Which is fine. I just feel like I always use this one. Oh, that kind of matches the shower though, at least. This one did? Well, I guess not. It's a little bit off. We'll just do it. And then we need a sink. I'm gonna adjust so I'm sitting again. I'm so terrible about streaming on my couch. I have an office. Where I could have 2 screens even. I just do it the hard way. I love this sink, but it's really annoying that you can kind of only put it in the middle of a room. Hydrate, thank you. Give me 1 second. Save the game. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna pause it. Or I'm gonna mute my audio so that I can save the game and take a drink really quick. I'll be right back. And stretch, thank you. Do you match? I think it does. Is this like the raw pedestal? Yeah. So these do match. And I'm gonna put it like not, because well, I guess that's okay. And then does this come in a different... I could do the white one. And then they all like mostly match. They're not from the same kit, and there isn't a base game. These are both base game, and there's not a base game standalone shower. So the best I could do is like pop that in there, which I could do. That, you know what? Let's think about that. All of your Miis in Tomodachi Life hate string cheese. I'm gonna start my island over. Honestly, that's valid. You should. They're making you suffer for no reason, and that's not cool. That's how ChatGPT would tell you. It would be like, and honestly, that's inspiring. And then give you a bunch of bullshit. Just to be very clear, this is a staunchly anti-AI stream. So if you're into that, get out of my stream. But anyway, we're living through such. Let's do an all seasons bathroom. Actually, there's some cute stuff in here. Yeah. So we're kind of living in this weird time where people are using it to write everything, and they don't think people notice. But like ChatGPT only knows how to write in one way. So like everybody's stupid Instagram captions all look the same. And they think nobody notices. It's so ridiculous. Honestly, you are so right. Anyone who dislikes string cheese should be destroyed. It's always the like... It's that, you know, the format where it's like a really long Instagram post where it's like one sentence per line. It's just like... I have coworkers who I can tell like AI is writing their emails for them. And I'm like, guys, if you can't even bother to type me an email, why should I be bothered to read it? Sorry, I'm trying to see if the hardware matches on these. I think that's the matching sink. There we go. That'd be pretty. I don't think I've ever used that set before. And then, is there matching seasons like wallpaper? Oh, there wasn't matching tile or anything. Interesting. Let's see. Oh, we didn't get wallpaper or flooring really with seasons. I guess I didn't realize that. Okay, what is my flooring out here? We could maybe just do... Is there a brick wall that looks like this at subway tile? It's not exactly the same, but it'd be kind of cool. That one's... This is like, this brick is so perfectly square. I don't think there's an exact matching one, so I'm not going to try too hard, but I thought I'd look. Oops, too far out. Come on, Sims. What if we just did Ska Bathroom again? We could just do Ska Bathroom again. Why not? That's like chic Ska Bathroom. What's different about these? Oh, one has a baseboard on it. I kind of like it. I really like a lot of the spa day. Oh, the pink is really pretty. And it's base game. What if we did pink? And then the appliances are darker. I do think I don't know that I want the flooring. The flooring should be maybe wood then. What if we did this one, but a darker one? Like that. That's pretty. And then we need a mirror, obviously. I'm pretty sure Seasons came with a mirror. Oh, but it was the big one. Which, like, is fine. If I can find the right color. That might be it. I think the lighting is just funny. I think that's the one that technically matches. Sims lighting is just so funny. Need something on the wall, maybe? Maybe we do like robes hanging from the wall. Although sometimes this silly game is like, uh-oh, you hung something on the wall, now I can't walk there. I did my whole soapbox yesterday about how it's not fair to compare EA and Paralives, but in some ways I'm like, maybe The Sims could figure that shit out, actually. Just like a little bathroom. So unfortunately, did Seasons come with a bathtub? Because you can't wash pets in a shower unless they have updated that. So if you plan to have animals in it, you do have to... Oh, the tub's really pretty too. But it's not a shower tub combo. So I'd still have to add, yeah, it's gonna have to be one of these. I think there might be... Did Horse Ranch come with like an outdoor dog washing, or am I making that up? I think I'm making that up. What other colors did this come in? Let's make it all white. There we go. There we go. Oh, but the sink is gray. It's so hard to tell because the lighting is so silly in this game. Yeah, I guess gray is actually technically the matching one. Let's put some little touches on here. God, like, damn it. It's so hard to see. That here. We'll do like a... Do any of the towels lean a little pink? That could be cute. That one does. But I think I like the matching hardware better. They're from two different kits, but they're close. And then... What else do we still need in here? Are you guys proud of me? I didn't use this. I did put it in the bathroom over here, though. In the coffee shop. I like these all have like everybody's boomer mom with the seashell motifs on everything. My partner's mom is very much a white lady with an ocean bathroom. I've got a family friend that I stay with. I go to Virginia once a year to work some shows down there, and the wife of the couple that I stay with is also very much a seashell white lady. She's got like a whole Christmas tree that's just ocean and seashells. I love her. She made me, actually, not this past time, but the year before, she pours candles into like old shells, and she gave me one as a gift, and I haven't had the heart to burn it because it's just so pretty. I'm really excited because my current favorite candle in my home came from a place by where a Cozy Gremlin currently lives, and she won't live there that much longer because she's moving up here. And so I was like, I know you can order online, but I was like, if you happen to go anyway, could you pick up one of those candles for me? And she was able to make time and go grab one for me yesterday, so I'm gonna have another of my current favorite good stink in my house. There's a really cute trash can in Paralives 2 that I was just looking for and then remembered that's not in this game. Alright, bathroom is done, I think. Again, it's so hard to build bathrooms because they're always a little small. And then it collapses the walls down and whatnot. So I think we'll call that good for now. Do we need like a rug? The problem is the only cute one is from Sleek Bathroom. And I use it in everything. This is really funny. This is considered a rug. I think I showed this off in Paralives yesterday, but their welcome rug you can change the text on. So it comes default saying leave, but I made mine say howdy. Howdy. Oh, that's so cute. Can we make you small? Although, what's that from? I never remember which logo that is. Sometimes I feel bad if I use like really niche kit things when I'm building something to put it on the gallery, but I also mostly assume that if you're on the gallery it's because you're a pretty intense sim person and you likely own a lot of them. No rug for now. Alright. So now we need to I need some counters or some cabinets. And I don't know which ones technically match. It's probably this one? This one? No. That one? I think it's this one and the lighting is just bad because the game is weird. I think it's that one. So we'll do that one. We'll do a half above the fridge. And I'm just raising them up one more so that they go all the way to the ceiling. And now this is I never know if I want to do like hanging cabinets so that this becomes kind of like a nook, you know what I mean? So we could have like that, and then what's the center tile look like on this one? I guess we'll never know because it doesn't want me to do it. And I'll raise it up one. Whoop. So then it's kind of like I like that. It kind of makes it more like a closed-in kitchen space because it's a very small kitchen. Obviously, it has to be. Because this side was originally going to be like a micro home size. My goal was to make the whole thing 64 tiles so that the entire space counted as a tiny home, and then the living space was more like a micro home. And then I gave up on that because I had some other ideas that required me to make them a little bit bigger. And that's okay. We could do some of the garden to table stuff, which I really love. That. What else came with that? Garden to table. There we go. I've got my basically anytime I'm streaming or modding for my sister, I always have Monterey Bay Aquarium videos on, so I've got some jellyfish going in the background right now. I think I need to do... I'm gonna do the lamp trick. where you like pop these down where you want certain things. Oh, I'm gonna have to move this. Lane, are you streaming tomorrow? Speaking of, like I said, Lane did a massive stream yesterday with a lot of our stream friends that tons and tons of work went into, so I didn't know if you were planning to take a day or not. You want to play House Flippy? If you weren't able to tune in to the Archipelago stream yesterday, I wasn't able to be there the whole time. I was there for quite a bit of it. It's definitely worth popping on the VOD because there's some very silly moments. I thought they were gonna kill Tony because Tony's game. So Archipelago is a game randomizer where everyone's playing a different game, but then if you like the goals and achievements are all linked to somebody else's game. So like if you find a treasure chest in a Zelda game, that might actually unlock something in somebody else's Stardew Valley game, like that. And Tony was playing MS Paint, and so anytime they also had Deathlink turned on, which is the element of the game that I did not realize was part of this all. If one person died, everybody died. And what that meant for Tony, who was playing MS Paint, was that anytime anybody died, he would lose his entire canvas. So, and he didn't know that was going to happen. So the very first time, I think Glenn got the first death out of the way, Red Toad 64. I think Glenn died first. And everybody was like, oh, by the way. And it was just Tony devastated because he lost his entire canvas of drawing Parappa the Rappa. And it happened so many times. I was like, you guys are gonna kill him. But he was streaming today, so he's still with us. I don't want to put too much out because they still need one surface to cook on. But let's look just in case. Oh, not lighting. Not lighting. Ugh. I always think this is so cute. I wish it was functional as a stool. It's a thing you could put a stool on. I've seen people make some like makeshift coffee carts with it. It's very cute. Maybe we could use some of the kitchen clutter. See, this is a thing that Paralyzed does better, which is allows me to see where on the wall I'm actually putting this. But The Sims does not have like a... I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. Is it a fulcrum where like you can tilt how you're looking versus just going like this and then in and out? It's very annoying. So what all could I put up on top of the fridge? Could put... I always put the dishes up there, but we'll do something a little different, maybe. Maybe we've got a cookie jar up there. And then maybe just some like bowls and plates versus the whole... Uh-oh. There we go. I was like, I think I've lost it. Some bowls and plates stacked up there. The lighting is really intense right there. There we go. Now I can see a little better what I'm doing. Oops. pretty. I'm not sure I like the placement of that. That might not be the move for this one. This might go somewhere else. It's Bill Nyquil Science Guy Quill. Hello. How you doing? Hope you had a good weekend. I know we saw you a little bit on the Archipelago stream yesterday, so thanks for stopping in. We're having an extra chill stream tonight because I'm very tired. But we finished that huge build that I was working on, so that I feel very accomplished. Oh, I really love the fridge from this kit. It's so cute. Just with all the like different stickers on it. There's one that looks more like a travel fridge. Yeah, maybe I'll swap that. I think I want to swap it. But are those items now floating? I think they might be. Yeah. Okay, we'll have to use this one. That's okay. There we go. What else can I put up here? What do people keep on top of their fridge? Mine is just stuff that I haven't wanted to deal with. That's where everything, it's just like piles of greeting cards and stuff. I don't know about y'all, I'm a greeting card hoarder. Like if somebody takes the time to send me a card in the mail and like hand write stuff for me, I'm like, well, I guess I have to keep this until I die. Because that's just like, it's a rare thing to get anymore, right? Like it's still special to get a handwritten card in the mail. And as a result, I just hoard them. Those hands are so funny. I've never seen that before. The powerful Goral hands and the powerful Moose hands. Moose is currently snoozing on the couch next to me with his face like rested on his sunflower pillow, which is his favorite pillow. Okay, let's get like a rug or something in here. Oh, we could put some backsplash. Kitchen backsplash. I never think to do this, and it's a pretty easy way to make your kitchen look a little nicer. There we go. That's cute. Let's do, we need some kind of rug. What if I just put hay? Here we go. What kind of rug do we feel? I really like the ones from Dream Home Decorator. Oh, I didn't realize they're like a little off center. Can I make this a tiny bit smaller, or will it make it way smaller? That could be okay. I just like to put rugs down on hardwood. I was talking to the Velveeta fan club about this last night. My apartment complex keeps trying to... My apartment is heavily carpeted, and they keep trying... It's like an upgrade that when somebody moves out and they redo the apartment before new people come in, they like take a lot of the carpet out and they replace it with hardwood. And they keep asking if I've lived here for 10 years, and they keep asking if I want it. And I'm always like, no, because I have an old man dog in my house, and it's really like old dogs have a hard time on hardwood. It's also hard to move because everywhere has been like replaced with hardwood and stuff, and I'm like, it's not good for my moosey. Hello King, how's it going? I think I saw. Were you in Tony's stream? There were a bunch of people in Tony's stream earlier. I know we saw lots of friends yesterday. I was in Lane's stream for like 4.5 hours, and then I had some stuff I had to do. But we were checking in on and off. I know we hopped in like right as Lane had finished Jack and Daxter, because Lucas was harassing her, and Lane was threatening him in the last like, several minutes of her stream. That was a long haul. I kept checking in, like, because again we were at my house last night, and we kept checking in. I was like, oh my god, she's still going. All right, we need something like over on the walls over here. I could do an accent wall if there's a good pairing to go with this one. Note to self, never let Lane into home or near my couch. Yeah, she'll milk couch it. That's her whole thing. She's always threatening to milk couch Lucas. Whose couch I sit on an awful lot, so I'm afraid someday she might do it. Maybe it just stays purple. Or maybe, what if we did like a stone? I like an accent wall. Otherwise it gets very boring. They just end up looking too similar. You stocking a big game for a man who presumably owns a couch so I could dump milk on. Oh, was Glenn talking shit? There were a few moments last night where I was like, ooh, we got sassy Glenn tonight. I love when we get sassy Glenn. One of my favorite recurring Glenn bits is when somebody like just tells him to do something and he just goes, no. I'm a big fan of that. What if we did, or what if maybe that's this wall? So it's just like something a little different, because that might compete with hanging stuff on this wall. So what kind of gallery walls we got? Oh my god. Very sleepy. I'm so unprepared for work this week, y'all. I say that every single Sunday. We're working on a solution to that problem, but in the meantime, I will complain a little as a treat. Put that over the headboard. That's just my all-time favorite gallery wall. This like straight up looks like Velveeta Fan Club's dogs with the little ear tips. It's so cute. Could go to bed right now. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I said, I didn't really sleep last night, so I took like a 2-hour nap, and it didn't help. It was the kind of nap where you just kind of feel worse after, which is the worst kind. I do want to put curtains or something over this. I was also hoping to find a spot for just like a chair. You'd have some kind of just like living room area. I mean, it's a studio apartment basically attached to a coffee shop, but you got a full-time job, Shady? When did that happen? Oh, you haven't applied for things yet. Okay. Yeah, I also lived through that weird like post-college hoping for a job situation. And I actually had like kind of committed to moving to the city that I live in now, like before I even found a job for sure, which was like a real leap of like, well, hope that works out. But I had a lot of friends here, and it just made sense with like, it's a very like music forward city as well. Um, so it made sense for me to live here with that work that I do. God, these are the only good curtains in this game, and they don't always work. Let's see. Do these come in like a yellow or a white? They're kind of like weirdly formal. Let's see. I like these. Obviously, they're not correct for here, but I do think they're pretty. Well, they're not all like Christmas colors. What if we did? Yeah, for real. As somebody who, like, I've changed jobs. I've lived in this city for 10 years, and this is my third job in the city, but I've been at this job for 6 years, almost 6 years. Definitely, and I know this is easier said than done, like, financially, so this is also, like, a privileged thing I'm about to say. But if you can afford to take a little bit of a break, like in between school or in between jobs, like, again, I know not everybody can do that, but I totally recommend doing it if you can, because like there's so few. Once you're in a full-time job, like, you really don't get a lot of breaks anymore, and that's wrong. And we live in a horrible capitalistic society that makes it so you can never take a break once you're in like the workforce, right? So if you have the ability, definitely see what you can do. Not gonna dump it all here because I want to keep it good, chill vibes. No, I totally get it. Well, you know, like, you can always, if you ever want to message me, I'm always happy to listen. You know how to find me. I've been there, and it's hard. I'm sort of ish there now in a different way. And it's tough. Let's see. Sorry, this is me being insane about curtains, because now I'm mad that Paralives does curtains so much better than The Sims. That could work. Is that too much yellow? Maybe not. Maybe that's okay. And then we'll put in some hanging stuff. Might need some resume looking over it and some pointers so I don't get a job that's screaming over it. Yeah, I'm always happy to look at that. Whoop. Put some hanging plants here. It's so stressful, and it's also like a really stressful time to be looking for a job, especially in what Shaddy and I do, which is very like graphic design. And it's, again, I'm a generative AI hater, because CEOs think they can replace your creative staff. And I understand, like, there are some uses where AI might really be a breakthrough tool. The public doesn't need to have it yet. That's my official stance on that, is like, generative AI is not necessary for the general public right now, especially not until they can figure out how to make it kill the planet less. So, you know, I feel like that's the general stance, is the, like, I understand there are some ways in which it is useful in some fields, but it's really exhausting when, like, somebody I work for, something that keeps happening to me is, like, clients will send me something that they generated in AI, and then they realize it's not usable, so then it's my job to like make it usable. So then I'm having to fix what they generated with AI because they thought they could do my job better than me. That's happening to me a lot right now. And unfortunately, the people I work for are extremely pro AI, so I don't really have backup of them telling me like, oh no, you don't have to do this, because they kind of just tell me I have to, which is hard. A lot of jobs want AI experience. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really hopeful that we'll start to see some backlash from that, and that it'll be like a badge of honor to make sure like your stuff is designed by a human or written by a human. Again, it's gonna have its uses. I just don't think the general public needs to have it yet, and certainly not generative AI. Like, I don't need every boomer on my Facebook feed creating silly profile pictures because they just really needed to do that. It's just all frustrating. Super, super frustrating. And as always, all new technology just like sets out. My favorite way that I've seen that explained is that, like, I'm trying to think of the exact phrasing. Generative AI, in the like way it's being used by billionaires and employers, is like it is being used to bring talent, like creativity, to people who don't have creativity, and it is being used it's being used by people with money who don't have creativity to bring them quote unquote creativity, and it is being used to keep money away from the people who do have the creative skills. So it's just terrible in every way. Like, it's just, I have so, like, basically everyone I know is in some kind of, in one way or another, some very creative mode in some way, and it's just a bummer when the richies think they can replace us. And yeah, it's a spooky time to be. I always like worry a little bit about my day job, because again, I work for people who are extremely pro AI. My photography stuff's probably a little safer, because bands will pretty much always value having like real photos of the real show that happened. But I don't know, my day job, I'm always a little bit like little concerned. And that's a stressful place to be. Just gonna pop some plants up here. Maybe like some clothes or some towels too. Let's see. You were originally a cartoonist. That is fascinating. That's super cool. I don't do too much true illustration. I was doing it for a little while, but I'm more of a production artist, because most of my job is like getting graphics and stuff and signage ready for conferences. So I'm not like an illustrator as my day job. That is a whole separate skill. Oh my god, the other thing that's a nightmare about doing what I do is, again, people who don't do it all the time think like a graphic designer should also be in charge of motion graphics and video editing and podcast editing. It's like, oh, you're just the creative one who can do it all. And those are all very separate jobs that are a very expensive skill, and they just want it all for free. So that, Shadia, when you're like looking for jobs, obviously you're smart, like, you know when people are gonna be taking advantage of you like that, but just be super aware that that's a really common scam right now, is the like, we want a rock star who can do it all, blah 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 blah. It's just, oh, It's so, yeah, it's a nightmare. Because they, again, people who don't understand what we do think it's all the same thing. Um, like I said, sometimes I don't even consider myself a graphic designer. Like, I'm truly a production artist, which is different in several ways, but and that's why looking elsewhere can be a little hard, because everybody thinks you should just be able to do everything, and they want to pay you for one of those jobs. They don't want to pay you for all of those skills, because as far as they're concerned, it's all just one job. Yeah, it's super, super frustrating. And then they also think they can just what's happening is they're firing all of their creative people because they're like, AI will fix it, and then they realize AI doesn't actually do all of that or doesn't do a good job, and then they're panic having to hire people back, and then they want to hire one person to do all of it. So super, super stressful. Like I said, I do think at some point we're truly gonna see some kind of shift here about people wanting to see art made by humans. And art is a very broad term, but it's like, I don't know. Why should I give you my money if you couldn't be bothered to pay somebody to do this? And again, it's because they want to keep money out of the hands of creative people. Because if you make too much money doing art things, you might get out of shitty controlling corporate America, and we can't have that because we need those people. It's terrible. I have been on an extreme tirade lately about how we like center work. Like, and when I say we, I mean America, not me or any of you. How America like centers work as the most important thing you do. And I work really hard to make sure work is just something that I do for 40-ish hours a week to pay my bills, and that's not who I am. Like, I don't acknowledge that as part of my personality. I don't acknowledge it as important to me, even. Like, a job is just what you do to afford to live your life, and it's great if you, for the most part, I enjoy what I do very much. So it's a bonus when you like what you do. But my job is not part of my personality at all. It's just it's a means to funding the stuff that I want to do. Moose, you going on the porch? Okay. You can keep walking. I'm not stopping you, buddy boy. One of your jobs you had an issue with is when our minimum wage went up and I was still salary. I was making less than minimum wage and spent 4 months. Yeah, that's some nonsense too. Yeah, minimum wage is that's a whole other. I could be a really stressed out stream sometimes when I get worked up about stuff, but I've been exceptionally frustrated with the concept of just like everything revolving around work as people's main thing, and it's just not true. It's not the most important thing you do. I mean, again, it's great if you like it. It's awesome if you've got a job. Like I said, day to day, I really like what I do. So if you can tolerate your job, that helps. But it's definitely not the most important thing about you, pretty much ever. And my other hot tip is that your job will never love you. So always take care of yourself first. The biggest one I can recommend is like take your breaks, take your lunch breaks. I'm very like staunch about taking the breaks that are mine to take, because that's part of my arrangement, and I use that time to like do chores or go to the gym, or I walk the dog. Like, I am very much, and again, this is like a privilege that I have here, right? Not everybody's job is the same as mine, and I recognize that. So Um, but if you're somebody who does have, I mean, a lot of us just have desk jobs, right? Or email jobs, working in the email mines or working in the Adobe Illustrator mines or whatever. Um, like your job will never love you. They will never directly tell you that you should get up and move your bones once in a while. So you kind of have to take back that time for yourself. Don't abuse it. That's not what I mean either. But like, do your job. Like you are paid to be there and to do your job. But you should also make sure you're taking your breaks to like, even if it's literally walking laps around your house. Humans are not meant to sit for 8 or 9, 10 hours a day. And capitalism decided we should do that, which is some shit. And then then you have the wonderful spiral effect of like, I wonder why America is so unhealthy, and it's because we've prioritized work as the only thing that matters. So people come home from work too exhausted to exercise or even go for like just a walk, and then it just spirals and spirals, and everyone pretends to have shocked Pikachu face about it. It's just terrible. Like, we live in an awful country, where pretty much no job respects you as your own person, so you have to respect yourself as a person twice as much. That's my like internet big sister advice today. I can't remember. I had some internet big sister advice yesterday, and I can't remember what it was. It was probably related because I've been thinking about this a lot. And yeah, I just think it's really important to remember that like you are a person first. You're an employee, I don't know, 4th or 5th. You're probably like a lot of other more important things before you're an employee. And I don't mean like take advantage of anything. I don't mean try to abuse any privileges or whatever, but like definitely take care of yourself first, because you're, with few exceptions, jobs like just won't look out for you. So you gotta look out for yourself. And if the earlier you start that, especially like right out of school, the easier it will be, because I wasn't always like that. I let some jobs walk all over me for a long time, and I wish I'd stood up for myself a lot sooner, because it's hard to get out of that pattern if you've let a job walk all over you for a long time. And it's also really easy to do that, especially when you're new, because you're brand new to jobs and maybe brand new to working full time even, and you know, you want to do a good job, but doing a good job does not mean like giving up your humanity for a job. So very much that's my full-time job advice, is make sure you're still taking care of yourself and prioritizing the stuff you do outside of work as well. That's all super, super important. And I say that even just as a reminder to myself, because there are some times where like the last 6 months of work for me have been an absolute nightmare. And there are some days where like I really have to pry myself away from whatever I'm doing and go like, girl, if I truly don't have the energy to like get in the car and go to the gym at lunch, which again, that is a privilege that I have. I work from home, so I'm able to do that in the middle of the day. Not everybody has that, so please know I'm not talking about you if you don't have the kind of situation I'm in, but there are other ways to get that in. Like I have, if I'm just truly fried and I really can't get myself in the car and then a 7-mile drive to the gym at lunch, then I like take the dog for like a little loop around the apartment complex or whatever, or just sit and don't look at a screen for a while and sit and drink a seltzer in silence. Sorry, it's taking me so long to pick out a chair to put here because I'm on a soapbox again, and it makes it hard to think about the design, but we're almost done. I mean, and then I'll just like, I don't know if I'll do this I don't know if I'll do it on stream or not, but I'll finish landscaping, and it'll go up on the gallery. I probably won't stream on Wednesday because a Cozy Gremlin's gonna be here. like I said, probably her last time visiting before she just moves here, which is really exciting. We actually might, I suggested to her that we do this. She's gonna live with me for the first month that she's here, so she has the luxury of like scoping out apartments for a little bit and trying to find her own place. And I was like, well, if you're gonna live with me, you could set it, like we could do like a combo stream sometime, because she's gonna live in my my office was Lane's bedroom when she lived with me. Lane and I lived together for 5 years in this apartment. And then when she moved out, I turned it into my office. And but it's also my guest room. I have a futon that folds down and turns into a twin bed, and so she will be staying in there. But I also have my desk in there, obviously, because it's my office. And I was like, maybe we could do some like mini streams together in there. I love this chair. Let's use that one. It kind of goes with, it's kind of like equally round, although the color is not quite right. Does it come in maybe just white? Oh, actually that color, that works. That's still kind of in all these, like, I think I'm going to use that color. It's like an accent color. It's actually kind of the color of my office chair in my house. Alright, what are we still missing? Maybe like a little bookshelf over here? I just want to make sure we had... I don't have a TV, but you don't necessarily need that. It's okay. Trying to remember if I finished all my thoughts. The problem with my thoughts about all of that is that I always have more. Like, so many more. But yeah, the big one is always take care of yourself first. Because your employer will not, with exceptions. Some people have really great employers who do care about their staff as people, and that's awesome. But a lot more employers will try to just squeeze whatever they can get out of you, and you gotta take care of yourself. Oh, maybe I could do... Do these like corner well? Not really, but we could do it anyway. Or what if we did like the small one? That clips into the wall, but what if we did... What if I lined it up like perfectly? I should like manually put it on here. Got it's not perfect, but then you got a little bookshelf up there. And then, oh, thank God, thank you. Lane has been my savior so many times. I don't know, this was like early on into me streaming, so I don't know who all was there. I did a whole micro home, and then my game crashed. And I lost the whole thing. The good news was I'd had the whole thing recorded. So I just rebuilt it, and I knew exactly where everything went. I basically like put it on my TV and just rebuilt according to the VOD. Because I wanted it on the gallery. That was, let me show you. As always, if you're a Sims person, my gallery name is just KenzPlaysGames. You can download pretty much anything I build on stream. I upload here. I also upload stuff that I build off stream too, because sometimes I like to play the game just for me. So yeah, here's that tiny home we built recently. Here's the camper. Where was that? The micro home. This one. This is the one that I built, and I lost the whole thing. Thankfully, it was a micro home, so it was really tiny. But like the shell was saved, but I had to redo like all the interior stuff was all lost. And I still haven't learned my lesson because I still require my sister to remind me to save all the time. Oops. Yeah, let's do the dark brown maybe. Although that kind of matches the... That actually might look better with the stone. What do we think? Do we like it dark or the light one? Because the dark one kind of matches the hardwood, like the cabinets and stuff over here. But the light one matches the stone a little better. Let's see. I did also appreciate the Vita fan club's like socialism-esque emojis there. Yeah, every once in a while in a stream I'm just kind of on one. I'm especially sensitive to this stuff right now. Because for myself and for friends and stuff, and if your time wasn't valuable, your employers wouldn't keep trying to steal it. So just keep that in mind. Your time is the most valuable thing, and you don't need to waste it on a job that doesn't love you. And again, do a good job. Like, work hard, do a good job, but do not let it, like, eat you alive. And I say that especially for friends in creative stuff, because people like us tend to let it eat them alive. Myself, I am not exempt from this. Because I personally have totally fallen to the pit hole of, like, pitfall, I think is what I was looking for. The pitfall of, like, but I like my job and I like getting to do creative stuff, so why wouldn't I, you know, give it a lot of my time and energy? And you owe your job your time and energy from whatever your assigned work hours are, and aside from that, try not to think about it outside of work, because they don't pay you to think about it outside of work. And I know that's easier said than done, especially if things get stressful, but that's my suggestion is always, the sooner you can start good boundaries, the better you will be in the long run. We were just talking last night about, we've got a friend who has, like, the best work boundaries of anybody I've ever met, where he, like, works really hard, does a really great job, really loves his job, but when he's working, he's really working, and when he's off, he's off. And I'm always very impressed with his very good boundaries about his job. Even a job, that's a good example, like a job that he really likes and could put, he's a teacher at a college, so, like, he could teach a lot more, or he could work a lot more, because teaching is another field that, you know, we expect an ungodly amount of free labor from teachers. And he has very, very good and impressive boundaries about that. I think I need a different plant. That one's going to clip in through the wall where I want to put it, so... it's 9:39. I'm gonna go, I'll probably just go till 10. Maybe stop a little sooner, but I want to find a good plant and stuff. I should start tagging my streams as the one where I go on a big internet sister tirade, because I do that sometimes. What was it yesterday? Yesterday was more like not comparing yourselves to your friends and their milestones, because the success milestones of our parents' time are gone. And nobody is a better or worse person for achieving those things sooner or later. People just got different situations, and no situation of those things is wrong. And comparison is a thief of joy. Hello, Squilliam. I hope your walk was nice. I hope it was nice and cool. Squilliam and the Mad Harper are currently sans air conditioning. And that sounds very terrible, and I'm very sorry. I hope the Comrade Kenzie streams, those are pretty good. Yeah, I do like to try, again, not that I'm like the voice anybody needs, but when I can get people to hang out and talk about that kind of stuff, like it's just important reminders of putting yourself first in a world that wants your only important output to be your job, because that's some shit, and you're way more important than your day job or I know I talked about like my personal history with like body stuff. You're always infinitely more important than what your body looks like, or what you do for work, or what milestones you have and haven't hit yet, quote unquote milestones again. The kind of things you're very excited for your friends when they hit, but sometimes it's hard not to compare yourself to that. I struggle with that a lot. But it's just not the most important thing. Everybody can do their own thing at their own speed, and I think it's very normal to feel like behind. But it's also really good to give yourself a little bit of grace about that. Oh, Maddie's here too. Hello. Oh, it's been 80 plus degrees since you woke up. It was secret hot here today. I think it was almost 80. And we were gonna walk Moose because it was like, we went last night because it was finally cool enough. And even that was kind of secret sweaty and shitty. And it's just really humid here. It's just been so stuffy. Yeah, you should have invested in Microsoft in the womb. I know. I'm like, well, I should have bought a house in the 2008 crash. But I was busy playing Just Dance in my parents' basement because I was 13 years old. So, you know, wait, no, how old was I I can't do math, you guys. How old was I in 2000? I was 15, right? I was born in 93. I'm so tired. I was 15. Yeah, that sounds right. You should feel bad if you work for the Department of Defense, though. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, you're gonna do Dark Souls for a randomizer. That could be fun. Yeah, you guys are 93 too. So Lane was 13 in 2008. So Lane should have purchased a house in 2008 when she was 13. Yeah, we should have been investing in Bitcoin. Oh my god. Yeah, that's my other... Sorry, it's just gonna be a soapbox talk all night apparently. It's the like... I myself am so guilty of this, where I like feel guilty spending any money because it's like, well, what if I need that to purchase like a big life achievement of like owning a house or whatever. And the reality is that like in 2006 it's really hard to do that without like a really insane job or significant outside help. So like here's the deal, if what you need to do to get through the day is to go buy a stupid delicious $7 coffee, go buy the stupid delicious $7 coffee. Like, we're probably not gonna have a functional society in like 6 months, so go whatever you gotta do to get through the day, man. You just gotta do it. You haven't played Sims in forever? Well, I'm playing The Sims tonight, but I've actually been, the last week I've been playing Paralives. Which I don't know if you're a Paralives. Were you a Sims person, Maddie? Because Paralives is also pretty worth your time if you like the build parts of The Sims. Sorry, now I'm just looking for anything I need to add still. So tonight I was working on, I finished that huge horse build. And then we came into this little like house coffee shop combo. Oh, I was gonna try to see if I could put, no, there's not really a spot to put windows. Okay, the front of the house is missing something, so we need to put something on there. we'll need to put, what could go on there? Because usually I would put a window here, but I put the bathroom there like an idiot. Okay. Been trying to get creative again for Tomodachi Life and Animal Crossing. Oh, you're in an ad. Okay. I swear I turned those off. What the heck? I need to figure out my ads. I don't want my ads to like interrupt people watching. I need to figure that out. Because I swore I turned the ads off so that it was like you only have to see a couple at the beginning. You can't turn them fully off once you're a affiliate, which is some shit. Cause like whatever, Twitch needs to make money, I get it, but like I don't want my friends to have to watch ads to hang out with me on the internet. I just don't want that. So I'll have to figure that out. I swore I had switched that. Anyway, I have also been playing Tomodachi Life, and I just feel like I'm not funny enough. Like, I'm a pretty creative person, and I've still just been like, I'm watching like Cozy Gremlin play and Lane play, and I'm like, damn, you guys are so funny, and your islands are like more interesting than mine. I'm sitting stuck at like 12 or 13 Miis because I just don't have other ideas. I just added Ben Wyatt and Leslie Knope. Things are going pretty great there. I also had recently added Bob and Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers. Who else do I have? Lane is married to the banjo player from Billy Strings. Abigail from Stardew Valley is married to the bass player from Billy Strings. Shoot, who else do I have? Lucas and I are in there. Ooh, mosquito in my house. Get out of here. Get out of here. This is the side effect of when I keep my sliding door open so Moose can come and go as he pleases out onto the balcony. Then there's bugs in my house. Last night, I was actually really impressed with myself because a moth flew into my house when Velveeta Fan Club was over. And I like stood up and kind of just like shooed him outside. And it worked. He kept trying to fly back into the house. And I was like, no, you have to go on the porch. You gotta trade Miis and creations with local play. Okay, so I have not figured out how to do that yet. I keep forgetting that there is local trading. I also I haven't made anything in the workshop. I've only made the first cake they make you create, and I just haven't had any other ideas, so I have to come up with other things. Oh, I didn't really show off. I did put a skylight over the bedroom and the kitchen. So there's also some like bonus natural light in there. I tried to put one over the coffee shop and there wasn't really a good spot for it because if I put it over this side, it was going to be like over the bathroom, which I guess is fine. But it was going to be a weird spot for it. We could meet at Arby's to trade Miis. You're so right. Lane and I are now like so much more aware of every Arby's that we pass. When I tell you I have never once paid attention to Arby's in my life, I don't think I've ever been to an Arby's. Because I'm a vegetarian now, but I wasn't always. But even before I wasn't, I didn't eat a lot of meat even before I was vegetarian. Are there any spots for shelves or anything? No, not really. Itty bitty little house. Why is this here? Did I put that there? I certainly didn't mean to. Could go out here. But now, every time I see an Arby's, I think of Maddie. And I have a Discord chat with Lane and Maddie. And it's basically just like videos and pictures of every time any one of us sees an Arby's. Do you think it's called Arby's because RB stands for roast beef? I'm pretty sure that's I think that's it, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's the actual reason. I know you think you're making a joke, but I think that is why it's called that. Isn't it? Hold on. Why is Arby's called Arby's? It is a phonetic spelling of the initials RB. Okay, but here's the thing. Hold on. Let me make sure this is real. It doesn't stand for roast beef. It stands for where was it? I just saw their names. It stands for the Raffle Brothers. Because the two brothers who started it, their last name was Raffle or Raffel. So it's RB. So it's just very convenient that it also is roast beef. Yeah, I think Shaddy's right. It stands for rutabaga, actually. Have I told the rutabaga story on stream? Is Lucas here, or can I safely tell this story? I mean, he thinks it's a very funny story. I would tell it even if he was here, but it's funnier if he's not here to defend himself. So there was one time, okay, I'll come back in the Sims and I'll click through stuff while I'm talking. So there was one time where Lucas and I think we'd like just started dating. We weren't together. We hadn't been together for that long. Some knowledge to know beforehand, if you don't already know this, is that Lane set Lucas and me up. They played in the same D&D game. She met him and was like, wow, this man should date my sister. And then she just was like really relentless until we were in the same place a lot of times. And like the first place I ever met Lucas was actually at my parents' house 90 miles away from where we all live now, because my parents had a party and my sister convinced Lucas to come to that party. I don't know what you told him to get him to come, but the ultimate goal was to get him to meet me at my parents' house. So my partner and I actually, in the city we live in, met at my parents' house, like my childhood home. Relentless. Yeah, okay, so you want picture. I accidentally bullied Lucas harder than I've ever bullied Lucas. So anyway, this was like relatively early on because he was still in his old apartment, which he was not in for very long once we started dating. There's a Wisconsin wine company called Three Lakes Winery, and I don't know if they sell this in other parts of the country. So I'd have to look, but their blueberry wine is my favorite wine of all time. I love it very, very much. I hardly drink it all, but I will still risk my potential migraines to drink that because I love it so much. They also made a rhubarb wine, and I love like strawberry rhubarb everything. Big fan of anything strawberry rhubarb. And maybe we could put some little candles out on here. So my mom picked up this rhubarb wine and was like, hey, like we thought this would be really good. And I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds delicious. And Lucas and I busted it out one night at his apartment, and it was not good. It was really not good. But we're all Midwestern and are afraid of wasting things, so we like closed it back up and we're like, we'll just hold on to it in case maybe we need to taste more, like maybe we want more of it later. Maybe it'll taste better later. And it didn't, by the way, but we pretended that would happen. And Lane came over, I don't know, a couple days, a week later, and we were trying to figure out what we wanted to drink. And Lucas, in between here, I was at Lucas's apartment a bunch of times, and he kept referring to it as the rutabaga wine. I knew that he meant rhubarb. And to me, I am not the kind of person who will like correct you if I know what you mean, because I don't like to, I'm just not that kind of person. Like, unless it's funny, I will sometimes do it to Lane. If it's like if it's like a funny haha moment, I will sometimes do it to Lane, and she'll do it to me, and that's a special sibling relationship. But for the most part, if I know what you meant, I'm not gonna be like, haha, idiot, did you mean to say this? So like for a lot of times, Lucas called it the rutabaga wine, and that was fine when it was just me hearing him call it the rutabaga wine. And then Lane came over and we were trying to decide what we were going to drink. And Lucas casually references that we still have the rutabaga wine. And Lane, in this like cartoon-ass voice, is like, why would you have rutabaga wine? And I had to be like, he means rhubarb. Like, it's rhubarb wine. He's just calling it the wrong thing. And Lucas whips around in the kitchen and is like, what? Because he'd been calling it rutabaga wine for so long. And I just didn't want to correct him because I don't know, I didn't feel like I needed to do that. And then Lane showed up. So now whenever we are gonna get wine, it's a bit, they're like, oh, I'll get the rutabaga wine. You were doing him a favor. He would have said it outside and sounded insane. This is true. Perhaps you did do him a favor. All right, what are we still missing? I'm not gonna do the outside tonight. Like I said, I'm probably not gonna stream on Wednesday. Cozy Gremlin will be here. We'll see if I stream on Sunday. I have a gig in Iowa on Saturday night, so I have to like drive like a distance. So we'll see if I stream Sunday. That also depends on if Cozy Gremlin stays until Monday, which she sometimes does. We'll see. We'll see. I could always stream, like, if she's got stuff to do. She's coming up here for some other stuff, so like I can maybe stream on Friday or something. Although I have a gig on Thursday too. I'm very full of photo stuff this week. But then I think my June is actually relatively chill. I have been overbooking myself like crazy, and I would kind of like to just have time to sit with my friends and not always feel like I have pictures that I should be editing or whatever. Because again, this is another like hang up of creative work, is I sometimes forget that it's work until I'm doing it, and then it's like, oh yeah, like this actually does take a long time. Is there anything cute we could put on the roof? Do I have any space for a fireplace either on the cafe side or... No, not really. I could put like a curtain up here though. We got those pretty, the ones in businesses and hobbies that are a little weirdly formal, but the lighter colored ones aren't too bad. Like if we just use a white one. What colors did I put in here? We could maybe use the yellow one too. That could be pretty. Just like a little pop of color over there. These two patterns have such a death grip on me, along with the life and death kitchen stuff. They're just so pretty. I'm such a sucker for like wood paneling. I don't know if this is a thing where everybody else lives, but it's very much a Wisconsin basement thing to have like wood paneling in your basement. If you still have an original basement from houses that were built in like the 60s and 70s, maybe 80s, I guess. That's a very common basement aesthetic, and I'm very nostalgic for it. And I'm hoping I can acquire one of those homes before they modernize everything and make it all gray. Oh, I still need a light in here too. I'm just all over the place tonight. This is what happens. See, this is what happens when I get yapping about protecting yourself from your job. I stop paying attention to what I'm doing. Simmer down. That's good. That was a good joke. Will, you should know that you're so Tamago Tony has a new redeem. Where is it a redeem or is it just, I don't know how it works. It's like an external website, right, that you have to go to. I can't remember what it's called. But you can like pay channel points, I think, to have things read in the Arby's voice, because again, it's Arby's all the way down, and we'll put in the first part of the B movie. Had the Arby's man read the B movie script, which is very good. God, I love this light so much, but did I use the sleek bathroom stuff anywhere else? Oh, I already used this light, so yeah, I'm gonna put it in here. I just love it. It's technically from the bathroom pack, but it's so pretty. Put a little fan over here. Yeah, I think the house part's pretty much done. Again, we've got her little ceramic studio out in like a renovated greenhouse. We've got our little bed nook, little kitchen, bathroom with a stand-up shower. I'm excited. I don't think I've ever used the full like Seasons expansion pack bathroom kit. That's really cute. I really like it. And then we've got our little entryway with a little book nook sitting spot. Actually, do the book nook spots look a little better? Let's just look. I'm not opposed to this one. I love that chair. But let's see what else they got. These just look so cozy. I use the sofas all the time because they just look so comfy, and they come in really just like comfy colors and patterns and stuff. Yeah, I think that one's still the way to go. These are a little, they don't quite match the vibe, and I don't really want to put a white couch against a white wall, so you'll regret it on a cosmic level if you enable text to speech. Yeah, I don't know, man. Those guys are so brave. Glenn does it too. Glenn and Tony, and I'm like, Lane's chat says some foul things sometimes. Not offensive, just like, wow, I can't believe your beautiful brain came up with those thoughts that you just typed into the internet. It's like magic. I really like these floating books too. The floating bookshelves, they're really pretty. All right. We got over here, we've got our house. I love like a cute little tiny house. I do keep meaning to try like a 2-level tiny house. I tend to just make my tiny houses very square because it's the easiest way to make a tiny house. So I'm hoping to maybe that'll be the next build, is try a more interesting shape for that kind of thing. I did build a tiny home. Was it technically a tiny house? I built a tree house, not this one. This one. It was not technically a tiny home. Okay. I couldn't remember. I loved this one. Cute little tree house. That one's actually like supported by 2 trees. Whereas the one we built most recently was not. This one was just like up on stilts basically. But that was a really fun build too. That's one of the ones I built in the interim of trying to finish the big giant build we finished tonight finally. If you weren't here for the beginning of the stream, tonight we finished a build that we started in February. And I just was taking so long that I was taking breaks and building tiny houses in between, and it's done. Just so exciting. Okay, so here's the little tiny house. Here's our little coffee cafe right next door. She can sell her ceramic wares. She got a cute little bathroom. Cute little porch. I love this sign. I can't believe I haven't used it before. Are you kidding me? A little bunny pouring tea on a mushroom? That's like the whole vibe of my home. And then we've got that nice little skylight. Is the outside the same brick? Oh no, different stones. Okay. Yeah, well, I think that's it for tonight, probably. Thanks for, I know I started a little long. I know we hung out a little longer tonight. Thanks again if you were here yesterday. I did like a Paralive stream, so we checked out that a little bit. Lots of fun. I'm pretty committed to being a Sims streamer, but I think Paralives is so close that I will also do Paralives sometimes, especially as they add more stuff to it. Thank you. That'll be a fun one to keep building in, and to, you know, see how that game grows and all those kinds of things. And I think it's close enough to The Sims that I'm gonna count it as still being a Sims streamer, because I've seen a lot of other dedicated Sims streamers start to play that one too, especially since EA is being a real sack of shit. I'd like to give my money to a smaller indie studio instead of the EA gods. So, very happy to give them my money. So, Lane streaming tomorrow night. So we'll see you at Lane stream. We'll see you at Glenn's stream. We'll see you at everybody's stream because there's pretty much always something fun to watch all the time. So, thanks for spending your Sunday with me, and thanks again if you were at Lane's Archipelago stream yesterday. That was a lot of fun, and I know she'll probably do some more of those. So, cool. Well, I hope everybody. Oh wait, we gotta show the moose, right? We gotta show the little guy, the special man. Well, we'll see when you see you again. I might have time to stream this week, might not. We'll see what happens. But until then, I hope y'all have a good week. I hope to all of our friends who are in places with stupid heat and not enough air conditioning, I hope they get that solved for you soon, because it is very, very stressful and terrible. There's like very few things that I'm less tolerant of than being super sweaty and uncomfortable. So I hope they fix that for you soon. So, all right. Well, we will see y'all soon. Thanks again, and have a good night.